welcome to a very, very, very peculiar but special Bashco show. Good morning.
Good morning.
I am surrounded.
Afternoon.
Night. I keep forgetting that social media you guys can watch this at
Yes.
any time. I'm so sorry. But yes, so as you rightly say, good afternoon, good morning, good night, good whatever time you wake up, or
Whatever time you're seeing this.
or say you have children that wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you might as well watch shows on things. Anyway, whatever time,
Can't relate.
thank you
Sorry.
very much for being here. I'm surrounded by some amazing, amazing women, by a bevy of beauties, as I was, it's a very nice statement that. It's very commonly used. So I'm going to use it. A bevy of beauties. And we have a great show for you guys today.
Yes.
So tell us, what is today all about?
Today's show is all about International Women's Day. International Women's Day is celebrated yearly all over the world on the 8th of March. And the theme for this year is gender equality. And the theme color
Which you're very
is
happy
purple
about.
and white.
Very
Let
happy
me
about
just
it,
clear
right?
this up. It has nothing to do with me, guys, or my associations with a specific school,
No.
or the fact that it's my favorite color, but I'm
No.
loving it. I'm really loving this.
With good reason. It does look amazing. You've done a good job.
Thank you.
It looks really good. It looks really good. I definitely would not have done this. In fact, you guys would have been seeing the regular office wall and the Bashco signs all over the place. But it's not about Bashco as per se today. And I have made a promise to not make it overly about Bashco today because we have some wonderful people. So as you were saying,
Yes, we have some amazing women here today.
yes. So there's also a hashtag.
Yes.
There's a hashtag.
The hashtag is each for equal,
Yeah.
and that's the sign
Yes.
that they do.
Yes.
That, well, we've done our research, and that's
Right.
what we see. And the focus is on collective individualism. It says that we're all responsible for our own thoughts and actions. We can actively choose to challenge stereotypes, fight bias, broaden perceptions, improve situations, and celebrate women's achievements.
Collectively, everyone has to play their part into make every society, not just Jamaican society, more equal and better for all of our occupants.
Yes.
Yeah. So, is it time to introduce our guests? Because I'm excited.
I'm excited too, yes.
Okay. So we have 3 wonderful human beings, and of course they're women because it's International Women's Day, right? 4. I apologize. That's on. We have 4 wonderful ladies
But I'm
here
seeing me
today.
every day.
That doesn't
They're
mean you're not a
used to
wonderful
me.
lady,
All right, guys.
right? Right? Can I get a round of applause from them? Right? Right. I didn't expect that. That was good. But we have 4 wonderful ladies, including Athoy, of course. And we want to thank you guys for joining us as we have this conversation on gender equality and each for equal. And we're also going to welcome the ladies right now. Would you like to introduce them?
Yes, and Jamaica knows these ladies because they have played their parts in the media environment, social media, radio, TV, all of the above.
Yes.
Right? So we start off with Debbie.
Woo!
Right? So everybody knows Debbie.
Round of applause.
Yeah,
Debbie is a female boss in the music and entertainment industry.
Here, here.
TV and radio host, a phenomenal MC, mother, sister, and daughter. She wears so many hats and manages to keep it balanced in her own amazing way.
Big up Debbie.
Hey. Happy to be here.
Next, we have Krystal Tomlinson, author, mother,
It's a great book.
public figure, politician,
Here, here.
mentor, host, youth activist, women's rights activist. The list goes on, guys.
We didn't have enough paper.
It is a true honor to have her on set with us.
Thank
As it is. You do this one.
Can I do this one?
Yes.
I'm so excited to do this one. Okay, so guys, on the card it says that Athoy is supposed to introduce this person, but I was like, nah. Mrs. String. So we have Rochelle.
You don't even need a card.
I don't need the card.
Don't need it.
We have my friend Rochelle Mitchell. Now, Rochelle is a TV host. She worked on radio. She's worked in pretty much every form of media that I had to figure out about when I came to Jamaica. Rochelle was there for me when I had to learn how the Jamaica media place worked. And she is a social media marketer. She'll tell you social media marketer, but she is a marketer. She is a mother, she is a friend, she is a daughter, she is an amazing human being, and we're so glad to have her on here.
On the Bashco Show.
Finally on the Bashco Show. Rochelle is always. You can say it now, by the way.
Okay, so I was on the Mega Mart show, and I love Mega Mart, love Mega Mart, but Bashco, the store that gives me.
Thanks, Rosh. So you guys are gonna do your thing, and because it's International Women's Day, I thought I would make it a special point to try and make the ladies feel welcome.
Oh, he has a Mercedes for us.
Yes.
Ooh.
Hey. I'll take mine.
I do. I have a.
Let's go to
Like, actually, you still have that Mercedes toy I bought you, son. Come down, son. Bring it down for daddy right now. Right? And I had to make the promise that I would not spend too much time talking about Bashco because today is really all about the ladies and International Women's Day. We're not going to talk too much about the brand and the various stuff that we have available at all Bashco locations island-wide, which we have 12 locations.
It's a Bashco show, and
Right.
we can appreciate that.
We're not going to, but we do, I will, bring some.
No,
some-
since you have the cup, you can just get coffee for the
Right,
ladies.
I'll get
I'm sure
coffee.
they'll love
I'll
it.
bring some coffee for the ladies because Wow by Bashco has coffee, and we have various types of tea. We have ginger tea, we have peppermint tea, we have decaffeinated coffee, we have regular coffee.
Yeah.
We have banana nut muffins.
But you're not really listing our.
We have breakfast
Yeah.
pockets. Yeah, we have all
But
kinds
you
of stuff.
aren't listing everything that
Yeah.
the store has.
No, it's not
He
about
isn't doing
it's not
this,
about
guys.
Bashco and 30 years of giving you more
No.
on this episode. No, it's all about
That's not. Sorry about that, guys. So, thank you, Omar, for helping us. So, you all saw that we introduced our ladies today, and I have a few questions and talking points that we're going to discuss because my views are for me, right? So, the first question is, since all of the ladies present here are involved in the media in one way or the other, how do you feel about the influence of women in media, both locally and internationally?
I feel really good. I think we've come a long way. Media as an institution has come a very long way from it just being a very male-dominated field to having
Yes.
powerhouses like Oprah Winfrey, who she really was a voice
Yeah.
for a lot of women in that space. So you have persons like Wendy Williams and Ellen DeGeneres and even Gayle King, even with the controversy around it, no doubt about it, she's a great host as well in television. And you have people in Jamaica like Paula Ann Porter and
Debbie.
Lorraine Samuels.
And a Debbie
you
Bissoon.
know,
Krystal
Krystal Tomlinson,
Rochelle.
Rochelle. So we've really come a long way, but we have really stamped our place, I believe, females in media, and we've been the voice of a lot of people, including males who have been voiceless, on a lot of issues, and we've been able to bring that to the forefront in our feminine way, in a way that it's understandable, it's relatable, it's emotional because you can feel it. It's not hard, and it's empathetic, and it allows for discussion to happen because, as you know, females are caregivers.
Yes,
So
naturally.
we bring that to the space as well. So we really have a lot of value in the space.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with Debbie. What do you think?
No, I feel the same, and I feel really excited and proud about what Jamaican media looks like. We're very well represented, and I think the types of women, the diversity of women that are on television also plays a big role in communicating the right messages to young women. So when I was younger, there's a particular face of a woman that you'd see on television. So exit that century, right, of a bumpy head girl not being welcomed on TV
Yeah.
to seeing Janella Pursuit on television with locks and Dahlia Harris and feeling
Yeah.
comfortable like Debbie can cut her hair and know say I'm still feminine, I'm still beautiful, and I won't lose my show because I don't have long flowy hair.
Yeah.
So all of those things are communicating positive beauty messages to women because of the diversity and the flexibility we have in body type, in complexion, in hair texture, whether you want to wear makeup or not wear makeup. So it allows women to see themselves in a natural way,
And be
already
comfortable
seeing.
with it.
Right, so you're seeing a lot of powerful females who own their spaces, aren't easily pushed around, their voice is clear. And I also want to big up Miss Kitty too, because she has
Yeah.
been a big force in allowing people to feel comfortable again in terms of body type and language. When Miss Kitty just started and she was using her patois and her la 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 la, everybody's like,
I
prime
know
time,
everybody's
TV,
jumping on
what's
it.
that? But she has owned it, and
Yes.
it is her voice and her representation. And so when you get past the criticism and the nitpicking and the silly talk about what hairstyle is working and whether or not you contour properly and you highlight properly,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, women are owning the space on television authentically.
Yes.
And that is good for every young girl and young man that's out there, knowing what a powerful woman looks like and how to interact with her.
Love your answer, Rochelle.
As far as I'm concerned, women in media are very instrumental. I like the span in the age groups. So you have the older women mentoring the younger women, and of course you have continuation, because a lot of the practices in media that came from standards, I say that because they're a little bit more lax now, you know. You have these people still in the industry and they're able to pass that on to the younger women. So I think of my time as a broadcaster. And I think of Danae Ramgalam, who was there to mentor me every single step of the way. Production, presenting, being a senior. She was there to literally hold my hand. And there were other women around me that did that for me as well. So I look up to women like that and I try to emulate what they do, because if they weren't there to do that for me, I wouldn't be who I am today.
All right, ladies, so coffee, here we go. We have black with
Super
nothing.
black
It's
with
very hot,
nothing.
please be careful.
You know,
Thank
some
you.
Bashco sell trade or
Yes. Well,
and them little sauce, the salsa stuff.
yes.
Wow.
Yes, I mean, so we have one more cup of coffee here. One more cup, thank you very much. One more cup. This is sweetened as well.
Thank you.
You are most welcome.
this is lovely.
Here you go.
You
Here
did
go.
good,
You made
Omar.
it.
I know what I'm doing.
Good
Curtsy,
job.
Curtsy, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, what? Something wrong?
Where's my coffee?
You had coffee earlier. You don't need too much coffee, did
What you
You'll be
mean?
fine. And, you know, in case you're wondering about what type of coffee we have, all this is available at Bashco right here.
Wow.
Right? So I'm just going to put this right here for you so you can just take a look. So we have traditional coffee, of course. We have various types of creamer, many types of tea. I think I
Guys,
was
this is
mentioning
Omar
these
doing the
things.
thing that he said he wasn't going to
No,
do.
I would just want the ladies to feel
I
comfortable
don't,
about
because
what
we
they
have to know what to
And
have.
they can get them at Wow
Yeah,
by
of course.
Bashco.
Wow by Bashco.
right?
Wow by Bashco has all
And
of
Spanish
these things.
Town.
And all Bashco locations, you know. Yes, carry on.
Why you sit down? You sit down because you go, wait now, you keep my company or you gonna talk about this
I'm
something?
gonna behave myself.
Okay, great. All right, guys. So the second question is: Jamaica may very well be ahead of other territories as it relates to general gender equality, but there is still some progress to be made. What glass ceilings would you like to see shattered in the coming years?
I would like gender equality in the payment of services. So some men earn more than women just because they're men. No, I'm not discrediting anybody's efforts. But if we're all equal, shouldn't we be paid equally for doing the same work?
Here, here.
Hey, remember that thing? Remember that thing on the
Yes, and
True.
If I can chime, if I can chime in on this, it was absolute chaos at the end of the last Women's World Cup football, and I was so pleased. Just last week, there was an article that said the U.S. men had voted to have the U.S. women's soccer team, their salary to be tripled. They voted for it to be tripled, and that is
Wonderful.
that's a positive move in the right direction.
I love-
Along those same lines.
Yeah.
I love to see when the men push for the women to have greater things. I love it.
Solidarity.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's important that they do it because they're in a space of power. So men are signing the checks and they're, you know, at the watering hole and having those big discussions about what's the next thing we should do to change the world. But the glass ceiling, I think, is for me that needs to be broken. Is that access to spaces of power? It shouldn't be that men have to do it on our behalf, otherwise it doesn't get done.
Yeah.
It's the current structure and it just is what it is, and so it had to have happened that way. But we have to get to a place where a woman is in such a position that she can be her own advocate and that women can coordinate for their own advocacy and to do it successfully, because it's almost as if there's not a man in the room or a man at the table, you don't get to the yes.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem for me. So I appreciate every male ally and every man who stands up for her. The UN had a powerful movement called He for She, which was men standing up for women because they do have more power than we do right now. But don't just stand up for us. Open the door and say to the other men in the
stand up for
room,
ourselves.
bring in 3 more girls, because right now it's 6 of us and we should try and get as equal numbers as we can at this decision-making table, and that's what's going to make it a long-lasting and authentic change for
Yeah.
women.
I agree.
I think I agree with both ladies. One of the things I realized as well, and looking at the reggae girls and their journey to the World Cup in terms of the support that they got, they could have gotten way more support, and because the performance as well said it all. They were doing really, really good. They just wanted some more backing, and even now with where they are, they still need way more support, of course.
yeah.
So I think as well, in agreement with both Krystal and Rochelle, we ought to be giving the women the same kind of support, because the performance is there, like it's there. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
So give us the same kind of support and the access as well, because we will perform. Try, tested, and proven.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree. So for our third question.
I'm sorry, just hold on. I don't think it'd be appropriate for the ladies to have coffee and not have just a little something to have along with it, if they desire. And since WOW happens to have muffins as well, I just happen to have them readily available right here. Thank you so much. So these are banana nut muffins that you got. I got them from inside WOW at Bashco. So you know WOW by Bashco, it's at 4752 Port Royal Street, right next to a very big car park. So if you want access to that, take all of this. I'm just gonna rest this right here for the ladies.
Thank you, Omar.
Thank you,
so
Omar.
The ladies
You're
are
really
so
outdoing
grateful.
yourself
They're
this morning,
so happy
Omar.
to have
I
the-
just
the
want to,
muffins.
I just think it'd be appropriate.
He's a gentleman.
I try my best. And the plate is also from Bashco. That's
Oh.
a very nice dinner plate.
Wow.
It's a 10.5-inch dinner plate.
I just want to affirm, the plates and cups in my kitchen are from Bashco. On something they're nice.
Thank you very much.
Right?
Thank you very
I'm
much.
not, I just have to tell you, I really love
And just
the
bring
plates
that
from
out of the
Bashco.
blue like that. That's really
Yes,
nice. You know,
it's
that's
true.
very nice. Let's carry on. I apologize.
If you don't stop, I'm gonna throw you off.
I'm done. I'll be here. I'm here. I'm behaving myself again. I'm sorry.
All right, ladies.
Third question,
So
I'm
if you could pick and award 3 women for their contribution to gender equality, either locally or internationally, who would you pick and why?
Okay, I have 2. Manny Duncan Price and Kamina Johnson Smith. I remember when both were senators, it was in the last administration, and they coordinated to pilot a bill around having quotas in the political system for political parties and in parliament. Now, again, because the superstructure of political parties is largely masculine, we have not been able to see that political agreement become something fruitful. So when you look at the landscape, you're still seeing a lot of males as ministers and MPs and senators and so on. But why I want to recognize them is because nothing changes in a culture without the legislation to force it. So if you want people to do the right thing, you educate them on what the right thing is and then make it difficult legally to do the wrong thing.
Yes.
And I think that was a good start because both of them worked on it across the aisle, and it also speaks to the power of politics if you do it maturely and with
Yes.
the interest of people at the center of it.
Yes.
So I want to recognize both of them.
Debbie?
One come to mind already. I mean, Michelle Obama is she's just phenomenal in every sense
Yeah,
of the word. I mean, even in her book, Becoming, she speaks about that, about becoming a lawyer and what that meant in a space that was very male-dominated, and, you know, how she triumphed over that. And in her work now, in her activism, she's a big advocate as well for that, for women understanding their value and knowing as well what they're worth and going after their goals and dreams, you know.
Yes.
So I love that. I think she, for me right now, is, I mean, Oprah Winfrey was my hero growing up. Michelle Obama for me right now is that, you know, she's just a phenomenal woman in every sense of the word. Yeah.
Yes.
Always
Rochelle.
my favorite internationally is Oprah Winfrey, but legally, 2 ladies that I definitely have seen in the media industry and in corporate as well that have stood out for me are Makiba Bennett Easy and Dr. Marcia Forbes. Now, Dr. Forbes is ahead of phase 3, and she's a phenomenal woman, and she's showing you that it can be done because, as Krystal said, we need to be invited to the table. They need to open the door for us. She opened the door. She's in. She's at the table. So I love that. Makiba Bennett Easy is somebody that is into organizational development. And she makes it across the board. It's just the development of women, men, everybody. Everybody is equal. Everybody is getting their fair share. So those would be my 3.
Good. My person is Oprah. If everybody, well, for those of you who know, you know why Oprah is my powerhouse. I try to follow in her footsteps because of where she was coming from, where she is now. Basically, I can relate. And Krystal Tomlinson, there's so many
Yes,
other
girl.
Hey.
Yes,
women
girl.
that I dream to be like. I look at them and try to emulate how they handle situations.
Talks about you a lot.
I love, listen, I'm just going to say that I love Krystal's growth because Krystal and I were at Fame at the same time. And Krystal is just phenomenal,
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember we went to the OB once and poor Krystal never had anything to eat, was cross country. And you would never know because she had just changed her diet. You would never know that
Yeah.
anything was wrong. I was producing her. She was fantastic and just in every sense a lady. So
Well,
I'm
from
very,
earlier
very
than
proud
that, when
of
she
you.
was a part of the Guild of Students
UWI.
Yeah,
at UWI,
always.
trust me, she was a strong figure from them
What?
times.
And
Yeah.
I also love Ellen. I don't
Big up Ellen.
I don't hear
Yes.
anybody
Yes, Ellen
Yes.
DeGeneres, yes.
you.
I mentioned her.
I
Ellen
did.
she does not care
Yeah.
what your gender is.
Yes.
She's all about
Yes,
gender
empowerment,
equality
yeah.
Yes.
and empowerment for all
For
people.
everybody, listen, that's the thing, we have to get to a place where we can just understand humanity. So regardless of what it is that you identify with, man, woman, non-binary, it's very important that since we're all here on this earth coexisting at the same time, that we give each other the space, the grace,
To be happy.
to be happy and to feel as though you're a part of something and you can achieve your goals. And the world is there for your taking. We have to create space for each other. And a lot of times we tend to impose our own insecurities and
Onto other
prejudices
people,
on
yes.
each other and think that it's correct and it's the truth. But that's not it, really. The truth is when we're able to allow, to give the space and to allow each other to live, happy and free and feel as though you're a part of something.
Yeah.
I know the question wasn't really directed at me, but I feel like I'd like to chime in. Is the whole nature of women pushing gender equality and women's rights. I wanted to mention, and not just because I'm a Bajan, but the Right Honorable. See, I'm so excited.
His
about it.
Honor?
No. I have to explain myself.
Okay.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Because if not for her, when she was the Minister of Education, when I was 10 years old, I would not have been able to sit the common entrance because she believed in all young people, regardless of their age. It was their ability that mattered, not their age.
Yes.
So Barbara just changed how the common entrance worked at the time. And
Nice.
then she kept persevering and she persevered. So she was Minister of Education, then she was Attorney General, and then she's the first female Prime Minister of Barbados. And
Love her.
I don't know if you remember meeting me, but I met her when I was going into U and I was all excited. She was like, okay. But you impacted me. Okay, good. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so tell us some of the milestones you have experienced in your careers and lives and how you have tried to promote gender equality in your personal situations.
The most unique experience, I think, not even career-wise, for me, is becoming a mom. Because, let's be honest, Omar can tell you, because he's my very good friend.
Omar's not a mom.
No, I wasn't going to be a mom. I was like, this is not for me. But just to see the camaraderie and, how women flock to you and they give you advice and, everybody it's like a village. You have your own little village. Everybody helps. So I remember even being pregnant and seeing Krystal rub the belly and Debbie's like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So I love that camaraderie and I love that, it's like each one reach one.
Yeah.
So that for me, I was able to get over my fear because there's always this fear. Am I doing enough as a mom? Am I spending enough time? Because you have this fast-paced career and you need to keep up and you always have to be at the top of your game. You have to be excellent. So how do I do this? So there's a big support from within because I think all the ladies here can understand what that is like. Okay. Do you fear that you're not spending enough time with the kids because you have to get this done? Or
Yes.
So,
Yes.
mommy guilt, it's real.
Oh yeah, mom guilt is very real, okay? And especially when you work in entertainment as well. When I come in from an event at after 1 in the morning, and by that time my son is asleep.
Already asleep, yeah.
And then if I have an early show in the following morning, I'm leaving him asleep again. So it hurts sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I try to make much out of a weekend. I try to go to the beach or do something that he enjoys. But regarding, my own triumph, I would say when I just started UWI and I was doing entertainment as my minor, my interest in entertainment was not just to be, a part of it like a performer, but on the business side of it.
Yes.
And at that time, my only example of that was actually Sharon Burke from Solid Agency. She had her own company, had her own booking company, and I mean, she's revered and respected by a lot of people in the entertainment industry, a lot of men as well, because if you look at it, really, it's dominated by men. The business side of it as well is dominated by men. So for me, it was good to see a woman, doing her thing and standing out and actually making connections and being a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Being a woman that men look up to, and at that time she was managing Bounty Killer.
Nice.
So she for me was a great example, and she showed me that it could be done. So it's great as well that I'm actually now able to be a part of the return of a big festival like Reggae Sunsplash, where I'm a festival manager, one of the festival managers for the event. You know what I I mean? So
Yes.
that's great. You know, that's incredible because at the time as well, the organizers were men. You know, and a lot of the festivals as well, they're operated and run by men.
Yes.
So for me, that's a big deal for me that I'm able to be on a committee, you know, with the other men there, be able to make decisions and give suggestions and be listened to and heard. And,
Yes.
you know, it's great for me. Yeah.
There's one thing that really sticks out in my mind, and it's from being on campus at Taylor Hall. So when I got to UA, I wasn't a very well together mentally, emotionally, socially kind of person, and I really found the kind of young woman I wanted to be while I was on campus. And I remember one year going back to Hall Week. So every year the hall has like a commemoration of all the people who've passed through and the impact. And there was this big printed board with people like Ralph Gonsalves and Kamla Prasad Besessa, Lisa Hanna, like a whole heap of big important people who were from Taylor Hall. And then on the thing I saw my face. So I ran to the SSD and was like, hold on, how my face reach on that? And he said, because you're an outstanding Taylorite. And I remember, I was just like, yes, because you don't see yourself the way others see you.
Yes.
And when I saw that, I said, you know what? It might not feel important as you're doing it, and it might not feel transformative while you're in the process of it.
Yes.
But if you remain committed to growing and becoming more,
Yes.
it's going to manifest and it's going to have an impact.
Yeah.
And that for me has been a major milestone in terms of pulling young women in and giving them an opportunity. I've been able to do that through mentorship and coordinating with a group of girlfriends, and Kamisha Kelly, Jamila, Rasheen, Teresa, Karen Scott. That's another program with Camilla too, or Rise to the Occasion program. But I remember when I just started with this initial group of friends, we all met at UA. And we pulled together, like, we had no money, like, we never had no money.
I remember that.
And we put together like 10,000 and 5,000. We were able to build a scholarship for a young girl who was at Andrews at the time, to pay her examination fees for sixth form, and she's now at UA in the medicine program. Woo! I mean, that it was a little.
That is good.
But at the time, that was all that we could do, and we did it. I'm just like, yes, let's keep doing things like that.
It's the little that counts.
Wow, yeah.
Guys. You don't have no big nothing to make a difference
You just need
in
to
a young
start.
person's life. You just need to start somewhere.
The word good gas with Krystal.
Yes!
That kept me going a lot in the mornings because listen, man, I'm falling asleep, trying to get up with this baby thing, and I was like, Krystal was like, you can do it. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
You can do it,
Yes.
All right, so guys, we have had a very enlightening, a very engaging discussion. So I want to firstly thank our panel of 4 amazing ladies, because if you guys even you know their story, we've heard some of it, and you might know some of her story, and it itself is very motivational. So again, we thank you guys for being with us for this discussion. Thank you so very much for taking your time out of your busy schedule of mother and jobs and all the other things. And thank you so very much. Thank you for putting this together.
Thank you.
This is great.
Fantastic.
And this comes in the backdrop of the increase in all types of violent crime against women over the last 8 to 12 months. It has been ridiculous in Jamaica lately what's been happening, and we want to see it stop, guys. Jamaica needs to be better. We need to understand that all persons are equal, that every woman has a right for an opportunity that every man has access to. And we as men, this whole looking at women like property and how they're handled both verbally, physically, everything in Jamaica. It
Mentally, emotionally,
you know,
all of the alleys.
All of the alleys, it needs to come to an end. And we want to be a part of that. And that's why we were glad to put this together. So thank you all
and
so
big
much.
up Judge Pusey for having them out there. She'll go fix them business. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next time. Follow us on social media, www.facebook.com/BASHCO, and at Bashco Jamaica on Instagram and Twitter, and me at Omar Bashco to see what we're up to next time.
Hey.
See ya.
Bye, guys.